What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Grumpy Geek, where you can always be sure to catch the most original content with up-to-date news and information on all things geeky and nerdy. I'm your host, Cassius Samuels, and today I wanted to drop another weekly review of the latest episode of Supergirl titled The Last Children of Krypton, just so I could give my quick recap of the episode with some quick thoughts and opinions on everything that transpired. So if you haven't seen the latest episode of Supergirl, this is your spoiler warning for you to turn back now and go watch the episode, then come back and listen to this later if you like. For everyone else that is still here and is caught up with everything, let's go ahead and jump right in, shall we? So, after 2 episodes into this new season of Supergirl, I think I'm just going to come out and say that Tyler Hoechlin's Superman is probably the best thing to happen to this show since Martian Manhunter was revealed in Season 1. And also, surprisingly enough, this new season has brought a lot of great changes so far. But to me, at this point, nothing beats seeing Benoist and Hoechlin teaming up as the last children from Krypton and having a good time while they're doing it, smiling out here, beating up bad guys and all that. I thought it was dope that Hoechlin was allowed to show off his range of acting in this episode more so than he did in last week's premiere. In addition to the upbeat, charming Superman that we saw last week, we saw that he can also handle being a very angry Superman and a vulnerable Superman as well this week. The whole dynamic between Clark and Jean was icy, intense for most of the 2 episodes, and it also proved to be a lot of fun if I'm being honest. It was also pretty organic to me, and it didn't feel forced despite it not being true to the source material, because in my eyes it seemed to fit with Jean's character of this show, since he's an overprotective defender of Earth who usually has good intentions but usually can't see how he's a little overzealous at times. And it was nice to see their rivalry play out over these last 2 episodes and eventually cool down as they bonded over their similar backgrounds as being aliens on Earth and their mutual love for Kara as well. As far as the special effects go, ooh-wee! Like I said last week, I'm comfortable saying that these special effects are not only on the same level of those produced by CBS, I think that they actually surpassed them, and this episode proves it to me. I know it's strange to think that the special effects will look better despite a decrease in budget, but like I said before, the CW-verse crew are professionals when it comes to doing more with less. The flight scenes looked 100 times better to me. The hand-to-hand combat was more fierce and crisp with the choreography. And in general, the show is just simply better at showcasing Kara's powers this year as opposed to last year. Your boy Frederick Schmidt was very serviceable as John Corbin, who returned as Metallo and gave both Kryptonians a run for their money. I mean, he wasn't really a compelling villain. He didn't have much depth. He wasn't very three-dimensional, but he served his purpose. He presented a threat. He was a plot device. He did his job pretty well. I also thought it was a proper touch that Cadmus brought in a second Metallo played by Rich Ting to spice things up with to even things up. You know what I mean? With 2 Kryptonians on the scene, it only felt proper to bring in a second antagonist. I felt like the Metallo served as great physical villains due to the obvious problems that they give Kryptonians in a fight, but the script really didn't demand much of them from a dramatic perspective. But like I said, in the end, I overlooked it. It wasn't really that necessary for this premiere. There was plenty enough to keep you entertained, plenty enough to be compelling, and I thought it was a nice way to wrap up the conflict the way that they did. To be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about the Cadmus storyline so far after 2 episodes, though. I feel like one of the biggest problems that Supergirl had in its first season was the lack of compelling, relatable, well-acting villains. And so far, I'm not convinced that Season 2 is going to remedy that problem. Hopefully, the Cadmus storyline will pick up once the fate of Jeremiah Danvers is revealed and we figure out more about his role on the show this year. So there's just something to keep your eye out for, but like I said, I'm not really too excited about it at this point. I was really geeked coming into the season about Cadmus, and now it's looking like kind of meh. I thought Cat Grant making her exit from the show, paving the way for new guy Snapper Carr to step up and fill that cranky boss role in Carr's life, felt kind of sudden and forced, but it didn't really bother me much because I understand why they had to do it. And I felt like in the end, when it was all said and done, this episode gave Cat Grant a strong send-off and put a nice bow on the lovable mother-daughter relationship between her and Carl. Lastly, though, one of the things that I thought was kind of confusing was watching James Olsen getting a major promotion to take over for Cat. And I say this because it feels like his character arc is already going in two different directions between this promotion that he just got and the other big change that's been recently teased for him becoming Guardian. I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate that the writers are trying to refocus the character and find a better role for him than the forced love interest that he had with Kara the past season, but it's just hard to see how much potential his arc really has going forward at this point, seeing how we got these two different dynamics that we don't have any way of telling how they're going to blend together. You know what I'm saying? But it's not saying that it can't be done. Kara is able to juggle being a reporter during her normal life and Supergirl on the side, or Supergirl in her free time or whatever. So there's no reason to think that James can't do the same thing. It was just confusing to me to see that happened so quickly without any context or anything. There really no explanation, so yeah. But in the end, I give this episode a strong 8.5. This episode of Supergirl served as further proof that the series is better off for its move to CW. The action is stronger, the revamped DEO is better, and Tyler Hoechlin was an absolutely terrific Superman. But having said that, it's clear that Supergirl still has some hurdles to cross, the biggest of which is the lackluster history and creating villains that are compelling enough to rival its heroes. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know how you felt about the episode. Did you like Tyler's Superman? And what did you think about Cadmus being the big villain of the season so far? Anything else you guys want to share? Feel free to put your thoughts down below and let's hash it out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you found any entertainment value in this video at all. And if you want to follow me on any of the social media platforms, the links to everywhere you can find me are also down in the description below. Until next time, stay classy, my nerd brethren. I'm out. Much love. Mwah.